Okay, folks, here's an incredible story. Carbofurin is being used, this illegal, highly toxic chemical, more chemical warfare courtesy of your globalist friends who have open borders in California from the South. Why don't they just put a giant sign on the archway there, customs and immigration? Courtesy of globalism, open borders. So the Mexican drug cartels come in, thousands of these small pot farms, marijuana farms, all over California forests, very difficult to find. And who knows? Well, look at this. My goodness, how could we have predicted this? They're using carbofurin, this incredibly toxic pesticide, on their marijuana plants. Now, to give you some idea about how toxic this is, it's used to kill lions in Africa. Okay? Kill lions in Africa. Can cause spontaneous abortions and death. But wow, how could we have predicted, we, the political bosses in California, that with our open borders policy, something like this would happen? We would have had to have been geniuses to predict this and to foresee it, that these cartels would come in here and start pot farms and start using horrendous pesticides, and that the marijuana, of course, would be shipped all over the world. Who knows where it would go, and who knows who is smoking it? A word to the wise. A little carbofurin with your marijuana? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. That's part of globalism. That's an intrinsic part of globalism. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Oh, the virtue signaling. Oh, the progressive. Oh, the wonderfulness of all of humanity. No. This is what you get with globalism. Not as an unintended effect, but on purpose. Because how are you going to control the global population top down? You've got to cause a whole bunch of chaos from a number of different vectors. And one of those vectors is called chemical warfare, covert chemical warfare. So I started off talking about the medical drugs. I'm now talking about pesticides. And I'm going to shift gears before we get to the next item, which is also a major chilling blockbuster out of Australia. 50% off on InfoWars select storable food at InfoWarsStore.com for a limited time with a coupon. The coupon is called READY, READY. Use that code. 50 off on InfoWars select storable food line at InfoWarsStore.com with the coupon code READY. Shelf life of 25 years. Super high quality ingredients from the USA. So who knows what's happening around us these days, but you want to start thinking about storable food for sure. So 50 off on all InfoWars select storable food at InfoWarsStore.com while the supplies last. All right, let's shift gears here. Australia, more globalism. This also has a medical vector, as so many of these covert ops do. Australia's under the gun. The government has passed several regulations now that clamp down on families, forcing them to get vaccinations for their children in order to go to school, daycare, if they're receiving certain kinds of federal aid. In order to keep that aid, they have to, a full schedule of vaccines in their kids. Otherwise, no more money, bop, bop, bop. All this has been piling up and piling up and piling up. And now we have a story out of Australia where, and this is a real chiller, doctors in schools. In certain parts of Australia, doctors are going to be permanently visiting young children's public schools once a week. What for? What do we need them for? What are they coming in here for? Well, to make appointments to see children, to see young children, to see children 12 years old, 10 years old, 9 years old, so on and so forth, right? What for? Well, we know that it's going to involve getting their vaccinations, that's for sure. This whole program is a front for forced toxic vaccinations, but it's a lot more than that. Because as part of this new deal for the citizens of Australia, get this now, no informed consent from parents is necessary for the children to go in to see the doctor while the doctor is at the school. The parents don't even have to be told that the child, as young as 12 years old, is going in to see the doctor. In fact, the rule says that the doctor can conclude that a 12-year-old can give informed consent to be at the appointment with the doctor, which means, of course, listening to the doctor and taking the doctor's recommendations, whatever it is, diagnosis, vaccine, drug, et cetera, et cetera. A little kid faced off with an adult doctor without any knowledge on the part of the parents can sit there with the doctor and give informed consent? Baby. Wow. Are you kidding me? Fascism, medical fascism at its finest, is now on a new level bleeding into Australia. Because you know what this is going to lead to. This is the state replacing the parent. Let's get that straight. In Australia, that's what this move is all about. You parents don't have a right to bring up the kids and make decisions on their part. We, the state, are the ultimate parents of the children. That's it. And to prove that that's true, your little kitty, when he's at school, can come in and see the doctor when the doctor is there without any informed consent or any kind of consent from you, the parents. We don't care about you. It's irrelevant. The kid decides. Yeah, the kid decides. The kid says, yes, I will give informed consent. Well, what does that mean, Junior? I have no idea. I'm only 12. And then the doctor begins. What else is going to happen? Diagnosis of mental disorders, clinical depression, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, bipolar, all kinds of diagnoses going to be handed out with toxic drugs, severe toxic drugs. Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, Valproate, lithium, Ritalin, Adderall, the works. These are all highly toxic, as I've documented many, many times in past articles. Hey, Junior, Daddy says, you haven't been yourself lately. What's happening? Well, I don't know. I feel weird. I feel like jumping off the top of the house. What? Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, well, I went to see the doctor. You went to what? Yeah, I went to see the doctor the other day at school, and he said that I was depressed, and he put me on a drug. Well, no, he didn't. He couldn't have done that because he would have had to talk to us. No. He told me that it wasn't important to hear what you had to say, that I could just sit there and say, okay. This is globalism, folks. This is the state taking over control of children from parents. And I know that InfoWars listeners out there know of many more examples in many different areas where